The category is drama off of the ballroom floor. Lord have mercy. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Pose. This is season 2, episode 8. And like I said, there was drama off of the ballroom floor. We started right at, baby, listen. Ryan gave no time for anything. We went from, okay, here's our show, to, okay, I guess, if you must. So we got, Pray Tell is basically teaching Ricky how to deal with the disease and what the regimen is to try to keep himself together and get himself up and keep himself healthy and all of that. They didn't even go the route with trying to get him to take AZT or anything. So he's just teaching him this whole holistic vibe. And baby, it went from the teaching turned into them just tearing each other up, Patty. I said, well, okay. But see, I told y'all last week that I thought Ricky was a little hot on Pray Tell, honey. And then I knew it. I said that Ricky is old hot dick something, honey. And I knew as soon as he asked Pray Tell if he could stay tonight, I said, of course, she great try to night crawl, child. Miss Ricky, honey. I knew it. Honey, he went right on up in there and Pray Tell did everything he was supposed to do. Told him, he said, I think I might be falling for you. No, I just think you're just confused. You got a lot on your plate, got a lot going on. You don't really know what's really going on with you right now. Everything fat. Child, whenever he took that hand, honey, and said, does this feel like I'm confused? I said, Pray. Honey. And Pray was given, feels pretty stiff, honey. Let's go, honey. I said, when they was at it, honey. I said, Then Ricky let you know, honey. Yes, Damon. See, I knew it was Damon was tearing him up too, honey. He said, I think I want you to have me too. I said, he's a flip-flopper, honey. And baby Pray Tell went tearing him up too. I said, this is not going to be good, honey, because they're not going to be able to walk away from each other just that easy, honey, because they done tore each other down. I said, okay. Come on, versatiles, honey. Y'all get on down, honey. Get on down with the get down. I said, okay. Then we see Papi and Angel. And it's so funny because when it comes to their little sexual thing, it just feels like she's just like leading him by the hand. Like he don't really know what he be doing, and she's teaching him everything. I'm like, girl, come on here, or come on, stealing my man, honey, and teach him all that filth, honey. I said, okay, but I just said, all right, so they still going strong, still getting high, and that's the part they just didn't address, that the bitch is still getting high. She getting high. Papi found her a place. Basically they're going to sublet a place from a friend, a nicer place, and it's over by the pier. I said, I don't know about that. And like she said, when they went to the apartment to see it, she said, you can see the pier from here. This is where I used to turn those tricks. And he's like, yeah, that's where I used to hustle. I'm like, I don't know if I really want you to that close, because as soon as things ain't going well, y'all are both goofy, so y'all will slip back into what it is that y'all used to do. He gonna sell drugs and you gonna sell Tucci, honey. So I don't know about them living over there, but whatever. This is their plan of moving, and it all actually happened in the timing that it needed to anyway. So that's that. And I'll explain that more as we go forward. Then we see Pray Tell go down and he meets with the panel. And I said, see, here's your big problem right here. Because, see, sometimes you ever have a conversation where you feel like you should have kept it to yourself? where you feel as though you should have kept it to yourself. This was one of those conversations. Baby Pray was skipping, honey. Ricky gave him some of that little crooked thing, honey, and Pray Tell was skipping and dancing through. I said, girl, he done tore you up, honey. He done tore you up, mama. Got you on your toes, honey. Yeah. Pray Tell came down that street like, honey, it's a wonderful life. I said, get it, honey. But he went in there, talked to them judgmental old queens, honey, and I said, they was happy to get the juice, honey. They wanted to hear the juice, but then I felt like they were jealous, personally. They were judging, and then they were jealous. It's like, you old bitch. Everybody that's an old bitch don't get carted off and shelved. Ask me how I know. Go ahead. Ask me. Put it in the comments. I'll answer it. But everybody who gets older, because I tell y'all all the time that literally the gay life is really about being young and being beautiful. Those are the two requirements, honey. Just be young and be beautiful. Have something to offer, honey. Either you're a pretty queen, you got pretty teeth, or nice skin, or good, you got, nice hair, you keep your hair nice, or you dress real nice. But it's just always, it's very, very superficial. Okay? And young is the one thing. Now, that's the one thing that you can't hold on to, is young. And for most folk, as you get older, the dating pool gets smaller, and it just is what it is. But then there's some of us who don't actually fall over into that, and people still see you as desirable even though they know you're older, but your spirit hasn't gotten old, and you're not old crotchety. You're not an old crotchety bitch, and people still enjoy being around you, and they look at you and you're desirable to them, and your skin is still good, your hair is still nice, you're still dressing nice, you're still carrying yourself in a way that people aren't viewing you as some old fucking ancient artifact. So there's some of us that end up running into that. And honey, let me tell you, when it happens, not only will the old crotchety grannies be trying to read you and trying to tear you down and trying to come for you, some of the young folks will actually come. If you're friends with some younger folks, baby, and they feel as though you're pulling into their dating pool, watch out, bitch. Because they will come for you, honey. Listen, child, I tell you all the time, honey, it's not all glitz and glamour over on the gay side, honey. It's really not. But whatever, honey. I'm up for the challenge, so come on with it, bitches. But I definitely understand this story. Definitely understand this story. I know y'all knew I was coming through with some personal stuff, and I am. I'm going to touch on some stuff as we go forward. But they were very, very nebby, and they were very judgmental toward Pray Tell, and I could see it all in his face. I felt like when he told the story, that it was one of them things he just wished he had kept to himself, especially the part about it being Ricky. Oh, anyway, and then the thing was, he was more worried about Blanca than anybody else. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, baby, Damon is going to let you have it. He's going to let you have it. Because we haven't seen Damon interact a lot with Pray Tell, but everybody kind of looks up to Pray Tell. So when you have actually stepped into what Damon feels is his dating pool, I said, Miss Damon is going to, she's going to give you the business. And I was right. Anyway, so moving forward, we go, and Damon finally gets to his graduation. And it was nice. And it was, they did, the dance was really good. It was really good. Very, very Alan Ailey-esque. I loved it. I really did. I loved it. They actually did a better job with because there was some stuff I don't think that was actually the actual actor that plays Damon doing the dancing. They did a better job with splicing that in this time. But I really enjoyed the dance. I got it. And, I got the piece. I enjoyed it. I enjoy dance anyway. And a lot of times when we're seeing, like, pieces that they were actually putting in there, I was like, this is, like, thrown together. But no, that piece that was actually danced, I liked it. Anyway. So, yeah, again, they're actually you can see where they're putting their money where their mouth is. They definitely are putting their money where their mouth is, and I'm here for it. I'm a huge fan of this show. I love this show. Then we see Helena and Blanca speaking. And this was the child said, here we go with the waterfalls, honey. When Blanca was like, she said, you weren't going to just leave without saying goodbye. Were you, Blanca? She says, well, I just didn't even know what to say. Like, there's no words to express how much I appreciate what you have done for Damon. And she told her, you know what, she says, I enjoyed teaching Damon. It was a pleasure teaching Damon. But it was an honor knowing you. And then told her about, how persistent she was, that she teach him and how she stayed on him, that she did a better job than most actual biological mothers do with making certain that things get done. And I just the waterworks started. I said, come on through. That we done fell in love with Helena, with her character. And it's so funny because doesn't she remind you all of the original Aunt Viv? Like, she has that whole aura of the original Aunt Viv from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and you just can't help but love her. And yeah, I've fallen in love with Helena, so I'm sorry to actually see her part now being played out, because though I think that we're going to see her again, I definitely don't think we're done with Helena. I think we're going to see her again at some point. If it's nothing more than interaction with her and Blanca, I believe she will roll back into the storyline. Because like she said, like she couldn't come to the dinner, the graduation dinner, but she said, she asked for a rain check. I don't think we've seen the last of Helena, just like we ain't seen the last of our girl, Miss Candy. So, and that's, I'm hoping, because I like Helena. Okay, so I jumped past something. I gotta go back. Because Pray Tell had told Ricky, you need to immediately tell Damon of your status so that he can go and get checked to see if he's okay. And I'm like, yes, you do. And baby, when he went ahead, it all spilled out. And in this scene, this was like, ugh. Ricky's acting wasn't all that great, but Damon was dead on point. And Ricky was he's lacking there. He plays his other little role of being the little slutty boy, the little boy toy. He plays that real well, but his heart-wrenching stuff, not so much. But it'll get better. Just keep on. It'll get better. He wasn't connected, but Damon was dead on for me. But when he told him, just promise me you'll get tested, he's like, I'm not promising you shit. And told him, because it was so funny, because Damon's face was cracked. That's why I said I knew Damon was going to attack. I knew he was going to attack Pray Tell because his face got cracked. Because we went through all of this time of Ricky trying to get back with Damon, and Damon said, no, I don't, I'm not feeling it. And then you ended up throwing yourself at him. Now you ready? And said, I'm done punishing you. And you literally threw yourself at him, baby, and he curbed you, honey, and gave you, baby, I'd have moved on, honey. I'd have moved on. And I was like, and where he moved on to, you're not going to be able to get him from, honey. And it really does have to do with his character. It really does. It doesn't say that he doesn't like Damon, because I believe Ricky does. He loves Damon in his own little selfish way. But the competition, you can't compete right now, Damon. You can't compete with Pray Tell. Pray Tell has a house. Pray Tell has a career. Pray Tell's all set. Basically, at this point, Ricky has become a kept man. At that point, when we did that scene, he had the potential of becoming a kept man. All you have on your side at this point is youth. And baby, they had sex. And even the sex part, you couldn't seal the deal because Pray Tell gave him everything he needed. So you couldn't even, it wasn't that your sex was so much better, so you couldn't even lean on that. At this point, the only thing you had going for you is youth. And in this instance, youth is not working. Because one, Ricky ain't working. And the stability, and it's a shame to say it, but the stability of Pray Tell will win out over the youth of Damon, especially at that time period. And Ricky is very much that way. Remember, let's not forget, though y'all like Ricky, and y'all have learned to like Ricky, Ricky was a whore. And what do whores look for? Stability. A whore is going to go with stability over their heart. Every time. Every time. So, and it's not, and you know what, and I'm kind of glad that they didn't just put it out there like Pray Tell was buying him. But in essence, when you really get all the way down to it, there's a whole financial situation there that was underlined. Don't be stupid. Anyway, moving on. But he told him to get out, and he told him, said, when he said, Pray's been helping me. When he said, Pray Tell's been helping me, he's going to say, helping you with what? And Damon looked, baby, that face was so cracked. His face was so cracked, he was so molded. I said, oh, Damon. Oh, not the old bitch got you, honey. Said, oh, poor baby. Anyway, you'll live. And he said, you know, like Pray Tell said, I mean, at the end of the day, he said, I didn't steal anybody's man. I really didn't. I didn't steal anybody's man. I didn't steal anybody's man. They were not together. I have to say, I definitely would not have done this because, well, I'm very funny about dating situations and sleeping around with people's situations. Pray Tell's out of order because of the fact we know that Ricky's a whore. Pray said, I'm not Damon's dad. You know, he was given all that, but just friendship-wise, I don't date. I'm not going to date. I'll never date anybody who is a friend of mine. I will never date one of their exes. I'm just not going to do that. I have always frowned upon that. That is just not one of my things at all. I can't get into it. And I don't care how much time has gone by. I'm just not going to do it. But that's me. And I know that's always been a point of contention with me and different circles of friends. I'm like, I don't care what you say, honey. The gay community is not that small that I have to start dating my friends' exes. I'm just not. I'm not going to do it. It's just, and it always looks so shady to me because it always looks like, well, you were looking at him the whole time. And the truth of the matter is, everybody's been looking at Ricky the whole time. Everybody has a little attraction to Ricky and always has since he came into the story. So there's nobody who he could date in that circle that Damon wouldn't feel like, bitch, you was looking at him all along. And me too. From the outside, bitch. So, anyway, just like Ricky made it very plain, he'd been looking at Pray Tell, honey. But anyway, so I'm just funny about that stuff. So I would have never done it. So Pray's pretty out of order. But at the end of the day, he really did not like do anything sneaky or go out there and search David. Damon searched him out. But I would have been open to it. But he was, honey. When he reached down there and felt that thing, honey, they've been looking at it. He got the chance to touch on it, and then that was it. I said, nasty, nasty. Anyway. Oh, When he told me, he said, did you pray tell that you were a liar? I said, Hattie Blanca done told him. I'm sure he knows. Anyway, so then we go to the graduation dinner, baby. And at that graduation dinner, oh, Damon, honey. Damon's claws came out, baby. It was not the loving Damon. Damon was going around the room, baby, lighting the kids up. That bitch was in there. He was evil. And he was mad. He done lost his man, honey. He done found out he done been exposed to the virus and don't know whether or not he's sick. Baby, listen. Damon was on some old shit, baby. And he went through that party and let the girls have it. He gave Miss Lulu a little taste. Then he went and he wrote, when I say he just drug Angel. I was like, oh, they were dragging each other. Child, when Miss Angel was giving, fuck you, honey. I said, oh, girl, he got you, honey. Because first they were going back and forth about the careers and the lifespan of the careers, which, y'all, I'm laughing at the both of them because y'all lifespan on y'all careers are the same. Models only have a few years. Dancers only have a few years. But a dancer has more years if the model's not smart. Because the model only makes, if she makes her own lane and you become like a Tyra Banks and you can do other things with production quality. But as far as actually sitting up, taking pictures and walking around with, baby, your life is, your career life is not as long as a dancer's. And a dancer, just God forbid you have any injuries or anything like that. Or if you don't, see, because dance is another one where staying youthful and beautiful is a thing. If you are unfortunately a person that has DNA that doesn't keep you youthful, because you can still, you can age and still be built nice, but if you don't look youthful, you're not going to get work. So both of them in the same boat. But baby, they were going at each other. He gave her, baby, that she was a junkie bitch, honey. I said, oh, he done told it, baby. He done spilled the tea. I said, okay, I knew that was coming. And then, did you see where Papi was getting ready to give? Hey, Papi's like, I don't talk to her like that. And he was giving Papi. I said, oh, don't you do it. But it was the best. But he went around that room. I did feel bad for him where because Blanca really just did not want to believe him. Yeah, Blanca, baby, don't tell Blanca nothing about her Angel, honey. That is of her, she is the favorite of her children. It's very evident that she's the favorite. And the thing, easy being, she's the only girl. She is the only girl. She's trans. And it just kind of is what it is. They have a lot of bonding. And, Angel is close with her. So it is what it is. But, yeah, she wasn't being fair. She wasn't being fair. She wasn't hearing him out about what he was saying about her and Papi. And it's more so Angel than Papi, because Angel's the one that's really the get high bitch, just getting really messed up. I don't see that Papi's really getting messed up. He's still just tailing behind her. But that bitch is all in. She's all in. She's riding a white horse, honey, and you can see it all on her. She's starting to look sketchy, and she's kind of wild. I'm like, Miss Angel, you need to get it together. You really, really do. But as he went through the room, honey, and then he got to Pray Tell. And Pray Tell, I said, oh, Pray. I said, girl, you're going to get it, honey. You're going to get it. I just could feel it building. I was like, girl, stay out of it. Just don't say nothing, bitch. Because when he get around to you, bitch, you're not going to like it. Baby, and he did. He told Pray Tell, you think I'm supposed to listen to you, honey? You sitting over there, you slut, honey. I said, oh. Baby, and Pray Tell got mad, honey. I said, no, you ain't mad. And Pray Tell went to jump up at him. Did you see Ricky run? Not Ricky. Did you see Damon run, honey? I said, oh, poor Damon. You don't fight, child. He was running, honey. And they're running. And Pray Tell, I said, what you going to do, Pray? Why you beat him? You done took his man. Now you want to beat him, honey. I said, Lord have mercy. But yeah, and everybody was not with it. Electra, honey. Electra was like, now wait a minute, Pray Tell. I know you know good and well. That is the first rule of Ballroom, honey. The elders and the fathers and the mothers do not sleep with the children. Now, I don't know where Electra got that from. I think it should be that way, but honey, I ain't never seen it that way, honey. I done seen more fathers running through the house, and it be the child. I have seen some fathers run through their house. They run through them children, honey. I said, oh, child, a mess. Please don't be fooled, honey. They be tearing the kids up, honey. I said, and that's the thing. I have children right now. I've disbanded my house and all that. I have children right now who, and I'm gonna say, you do. I mean, because they're people and they're adults. So you really do, even as a house mother or a house father. Well, I'll say house mother. I can't. No, I can speak for Chet too. Because we have children that we took more to because they're more, again, you're dealing with adults and you're kind of, you're teaching and molding as you're going, but they're adults. So your personalities come in there. And there are children that you do care for more than the other ones. You love them all, but it's not like biological children in that aspect because, again, you are dealing with adults that you didn't know as children. Not some of them. You know, some of them you've seen them growing up since teenagers, but... So you do end up picking and having your favorites. And you have the ones that are closer to you. There's the ones that are just attached to you like a leech. And, well, yeah. Because I only have one child that actually that really attaches himself to Chet. He just loves Chet to death. But I wouldn't say like a leech because he's more attached to me. And I think kind of all of them probably were. But, yeah, with me, I played them. I'm the mother of the house. They attached. You know, a lot of them. And then I have some that were really, you know, there was my little boos and they just stuck with me. But I have one child who just, they always say he was my favorite. They always said, I think y'all be messing around. I'm like, no, we definitely don't do that. We don't play those games at all. At all. Mother doesn't do that. And that, you know, and there was more than one. I have more than one who... I actually had one child that was like, he was bold with it. He's like, listen, is it okay for the mother to mess with one of the kids? And I'm like, no, you cannot mess with me. And he's like, are you sure? I'm like, I am very sure that is not going to happen. So they would see that outwardly because we had those conversations open with him. So the kids would be like, child, leave it alone, honey. So with him, I didn't get the backlash from my other kids. But with the other one, honey, they were like, child, I don't trust you two. I think you two. And I'm like, y'all know me better than that. Shame on y'all. But to this day, a couple of my kids would probably still be like, bitch, I don't know. We never have. I've never slept with any of my house children, but let me tell you, please don't be fooled. It goes on. It shouldn't go on because you see how this mess exploded? It just brings unnecessary drama into the house, and it just ain't necessary. And Pray Tell is kind of like a... Pray Tell never said he was the father, but he does kind of sit in that space like the father of the House of Evangelista. He really does and always have. But even overall, if he said he's like, I'm not their father. I'm not. Okay, Pray Tell, whatever. But you expect them to treat you like one, and you require that kind of respect from them. So whatever, Pray. Whatever. You out of order, bitch. And it just is what it is. And it's going to be a problem. As long as it lasts, bitch, it's going to be a problem. So I'm here for it. I said, come on. I said, I'm glad they went here. This was, now y'all really getting a good old eyeful of what be going down, honey. So I said, all right, well, whatever. Then Lulu said, yeah, she had busted Angel too. And I was like, what is the problem with Blanca? Blanca didn't want to see it. But anyway, but I knew it. That's her fave. Anyway, let's move on. So they go to the ball, and they just showed y'all a new category, which is a huge category still to this day, which is Femme Queen Vogue, and just Vogue Femme as a whole is one of the largest categories in the ballroom. And still is to this day. And so you've seen all the voguing, the actual voguing, with all the spins and the dips and the pops and the twirls. And I just can't, I can't stand when they call it a death drop, because that's not. It is a dip. That's what it's always been called. It's just a dip. I don't know where they came up with that death drop mess, but anyway. Well, it could be the death of you and you don't do it right. But anyway, you got to see the kids really carrying and doing their spins and their dips the way that they're done. Not the stuff you see on RuPaul's Drag Race. Real live dips and spins, Annie. And some of the girls can really do a little cute little dip, but no, they tears it down in the ballroom. But anyway, so you seen that. And then we actually seen how Damon was on the ball. And I honestly thought that Damon was going to walk off that ballroom and tell them, I am a free agent. And a free agent, that just means that you've left a house, or you're not been in a house. You're not in a house. You are just somebody that just breaks up the ballroom floor, and then, baby, that's when the houses, they start clamoring for you, baby, when you break up. The way that Damon goes in and turns it out, wins categories, they would clamor for Damon. But yeah, child, that's a big thing when you become a free agent and you are tearing your category up. So that's what I thought was getting ready to happen, but he just like walked off and wasn't speaking to Blanca. Then he got a job dancing overseas. I said, oh. I said, girl, clear that up. And it was cool. They got it together, him and Blanca. They've patched up everything, and he went on, and Damon is off. He's gone. He's going overseas to dance, he said, for at least a year. I said, goodbye, Damon. Very, very interesting. We saw that Ricky ain't going nowhere. When Pray Tell came home, then Pray Tell went and gave Ricky the blues and was telling him, you're just going to leave me like all the others did. Listen to what the Queen said, Annie. Because that's what they was giving. Child ain't going to work. You're too old and this, that, and the other. And you see how Blanca was like age shaming. She was age shaming Pray. And then she was saying that Pray Tell, you're using him because he's vulnerable, and none of that was true. So that was really mean on Blanca's part, because none of that was true. Some of those things do happen in the life where there are people that they have these younger lovers, and I always say that when your lover is like 8, 9, and 10 years younger, that a lot of times they're grooming them and they're raising them to their hand. And things like that. And it's like, okay, I guess. But I always say that with people who I know that are younger, that want to date these older people. I'm like, you need to watch yourself. Watch yourself, because it's like they're re-raising you, honey. And if that's, you need to make sure that you don't have that going on. You need to make sure you actually have a relationship going on, and make sure that you don't have somebody that's re-raising you to their hand. So I understood what she was saying, but Blanca was wrong, because that is not what's going on with Ricky and Pray. And I wasn't really sure at first. I was like, is Ricky preying on Pray Tell? Is he trying to use him like a sugar daddy? But I honestly don't believe he is. I honestly believe that Ricky really does like Pray Tell, and the extra added bonus is that the stability is there. Baby, he's like, he over there in that big old queen size bed, honey. He ain't over there laying on the floor over at Electra's place, honey. I said, So all of that went on, and all this time, Pray Tell and Blanca was just at each other. I said, oh, you too, honey. But they got it, well, it's pretty much together, I guess. They didn't really make all the way up. They weren't really talking, because she put Pray Tell out that day, and they still weren't actually talking. Yeah, so we got to see that workout. We got to finish watching that workout. Angel and Blanca sat down, and Angel called Blanca on her shit and told her, you got to do what you got to do, and I'm not going to let you become a bad mother, because of me. Kick me out of the house because I did wrong. And they weren't lying on me. I said, well, that's the first part to your recovery, girl, admitting that you got a problem. And you do have a problem. You're a junkie bitch. At this point, you have a problem. But I don't know that. I don't think she needs to move out from Blanca. I think she needs to stay right there up underneath Blanca so she can get it together. But we're going to say, we watching you, Angel Girl. She went and talked to Electra, and Electra was telling her, girl, I understand what you're saying. I understand you're frustrated. But these kids, Damon's leaving, Angel's moving, Papi's going with her. That's it. You know, that's it. And then you got Lulu and them hanging around. But her main, all her favorites, honey, Damon, Papi, and Angel. Those were her 3 picks, honey. They were her originals. And, you know, they were her ride or dies, because the other ones left and came back and all that old dumb stuff. She's like, they are all gone. And she told her, girl, it is what it is. You got to let them kids go. You got to learn to let them go. That's it. And then the very last thing we saw Blanca sitting there having dinner by herself. I said, oh, girl, it's like she's becoming an empty nester. And guess what? Biological parents go through it all the time. More so the mothers than the fathers, unless you're like a single parent and you go through it. But yeah, it's a different thing to become an empty nester when your kids go off to college or whatever they end up doing. They leave and get their careers. Girl, welcome to parenthood, honey. So, very good. This is and I done babbled on, but this is a very good episode, and it did touch on some real life shit outside of the ballroom. Y'all needed to see it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I did. I thought it was pretty good, and it definitely touched on some stuff. I was like, ooh, child, the scandal, honey. The scandal of it all, honey. Category is, honey, getting down with the kids. But we're going to keep our eye on little Ricky and Pray Tell, honey. And we got to keep our eye open to see what's really going on between Blanca and Pray Tell. They're going to fix it, but I just don't know when. When it'll be all the way fixed. And I hope he doesn't just come back and everything is fixed in the next episode. I hope we're still working toward it. Because that was a pretty bad fallout, honey. They told each other, fuck you, bitch, and all that. I was like, interesting. Anyway, all right, you guys. I'll catch y'all next week. Later.